Kamala Harris is now speaking. Let's hear from the vice president, unfiltered in her own words, there in Pittsburgh with 1 day left until the election. Let's listen in.
Please send Bob Casey back to the United States Senate. And I thank everyone for being here and taking the time out of your busy lives to be here this evening. I love you back. I love you back. I love you back. All right, so Pittsburgh, this is it. Tomorrow is Election Day. Tomorrow is Election Day. And the momentum is on our side. Our campaign has tapped into the ambitions, the aspirations, and the dreams of the American people. And we know it is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States. But we still got some work to do, because look, the race is not over and we must finish strong. So listen, here's the thing about the hard work. We like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. And we will win because when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And we have an opportunity in this election to finally turn the page on a decade of politics driven by fear and division. We are done with that. We're done. We're done. We're exhausted with it. And Pittsburgh, we are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. And we are not going back because America is ready for a fresh start. And we are ready for a president who knows the true measure of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it is based on who you lift up. And instead of stewing over an enemy's list, I will spend every day working on my to-do list, full of priorities to improve your life. Because ours is not a fight against something. It is a fight for something. It is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom, like the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. Proudly. Proudly. So, America, I am asking for your vote. I am asking for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. As president, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. I pledge to listen to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make. And we are not going back. And here's the thing, guys. We are fighting for a democracy. We are fighting for a democracy. And in a democracy, true leadership understands that the leader listens to the experts and listens to people who disagree with them. I will listen to people who disagree with me because I do not believe that people who disagree with me are the enemy. In fact, I will give them a seat at the table. is what real leaders do. That is what strong leaders do. And I pledge to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans. So, Pittsburgh, that is my pledge to you. And to you, I ask then, who here has a plan to vote? Fantastic. Okay, so help spread the word then. Polls are open here in Pennsylvania tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You know that. Go to iwillvote.com for all the information you need, including where and when to vote and where to drop off your mail ballot, because we need everyone to vote, Pennsylvania. You will make the difference in this election. You will make the difference. And friends, listen, we are all here together because we love our country. We love our country, and when you love something, you fight for it. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism. I love you back. Love you back. And one of the highest forms of our love of our country is to then fight for the ideals of our country and to fight to realize the promise of America. So Pittsburgh, listen, we got one day left to get this done. So now we work to get out the vote. Let's reach out in these next 24 hours to family and friends and classmates and neighbors and coworkers. And as we do that, let us really be true to what our campaign has been about from the very start. And on that, I say, please, let us be intentional about building community. Let us be intentional about building coalitions. Because here's the thing, so much about these last several years has been about trying to make people point their fingers at each other, to have Americans point their fingers at each other, to try and make people feel alone or feel small. But let us do the work as we work toward this win of building up community and coalition and reminding everyone that we have so much more in common than what separates us. Let that be our goal. And let us remind everyone, your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. So one last time, Pittsburgh, I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. God bless you.
Kamala Harris there in Pittsburgh, on her way to Philadelphia in front of the Art Center for a star-studded event. There she just said that our campaign has tapped into the ambitions, aspirations, and dreams of America. It is time for a new generation of leadership. We will win because when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight. She said it is not a fight against something, it is a fight for something. To truly measure leadership, it is not who you beat down, but who you lift up. Let's bring in our Zareen Shah. Zareen, I know that you've covered the vice president for years now. What sticks out to you about these closing moments of her campaign?
I think what sticks out first is she didn't mention Trump again. You know, Linsey, she's talking about turning the page. She's really just saying, I've turned the page. Look at what that looks like. Look what that sounds like when we don't even talk about him. I think that there's a signaling there in these last moments, right? It also stood out to me again that she talked about momentum. You know, we were talking about a bit before how momentum doesn't really signify you're 10 points ahead. It sort of indicates you're either tied or you're a little bit behind, but you're catching up. It was actually her word of the year in 2023 after that Dobbs decision was made. She is someone who likes being the underdog on the rise. That is a place that she's comfortable in. She's been in that position for many years. And Linsey, in every close race that Kamala Harris has ever run in, she has always won that race, at least so far. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But momentum is definitely something that she thinks about and she obviously enjoys. She talked about real leaders giving opponents the seat at the table. A lot of people are going to hear that and they probably think, okay, that's of course something that a politician's going to say, right? Having followed her for such a long time in California, I can tell you that's something that she has done. You know, back in 2008, when a lot of people who in California were working to try and get her endorsement for Hillary Clinton, back when Hillary Clinton was running for president, Harris would not do it. She made a lot of enemies in that moment, brief enemies. People were mad at her in California, the big political figures. But they came around her. They ended up joining her team when she ran for Attorney General, and a lot of them stayed on with her for a very, very long time. A perfect example of how she gave her opponents a seat at the table, even in those early moments in her career.